What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another video. So about a week or so ago, a highly anticipated game for the PlayStation 4 was released, and I have been putting in very many hours into this thing because it's just a ton of fun and I'm having a blast with it. And as I usually do with a lot of games that I play, I like to make videos on them and sort of discuss my own different thoughts and opinions on them. So I thought, why not do the same thing with this game, because it is a fantastic experience. And the game I'm talking about is Persona 5 for the PlayStation 4. Now, I did do an unboxing of this game, so there's a video. There is a video up for that unboxing, so be sure to check it out. It's a ton of fun. Also, within the game, it included this really awesome DualShock controller skin. Looks very cool. I am not good at putting on skins, so this took me a little while, but it's on there and I'm really enjoying it and it looks really cool. So yeah, Persona 5. So I mentioned in the unboxing video that I'm still very new to the Persona series. This is actually the very first Persona game that I've ever played. And so, I had no idea really what to expect. I knew it was a JRPG. I knew that it was a series that had a lot of style to it, and just looking at the cover art, you can tell that there's just so much style coming out of every part of this game. It's insane, but it's really cool. And so I was, very excited to jump in, and I got to tell you, I was not disappointed at all. It is a JRPG, so there are a lot of RPG elements, obviously. So you've got, leveling up, you've got items to purchase, you've got different weapons, you've got different moves that you can do. Your party members are incredibly awesome. Just everything that you love about RPGs is really in this game, and I think Atlus did a fantastic job, crafting an RPG such as this. Again, I haven't played any of the other Persona games, so I don't know if this is the best one or if another one is better. I don't really have any idea because I don't really know much about the series, but strictly from an RPG standpoint, this game is definitely something special when it comes to RPGs. So I'm having a ton of fun with it, and I'm so excited to just dive right back in and just explore more of it. So this morning I did complete the first palace, which is really awesome. I'm not going to really talk about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but definitely an insane thing to go through and just a ton of fun. So what is the story behind Persona? Well, I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll just sort of give a brief backstory or just some things that you learn really early in the game. So you play as this young student who transfers to a new school in Tokyo due to some circumstances that occur at his old setting, and so they go to this new school and nobody really likes them. Everybody is kind of they want to stay away from him because of what had happened before, and it's just you have a really hard time adjusting to your new life. But some things happen, you meet some people, and things just go way out the window from there. Everything just kind of it's very hard to explain, but things definitely take a 180, and things that you don't expect to happen just happen. So it's a very interesting story, but it's a fantastic story too. One of the things that I absolutely love about the story is that all of the characters have such a unique personality. Even the main character that you play as, because he doesn't necessarily talk very much. During the cutscenes, he doesn't really speak, which is really interesting. But he still sort of has his own personality that you can really sort of notice and I guess identify with in a way. But all the other characters that do fully speak, they have really great personalities and just behaviors, and the voice acting in this game is phenomenal. It's probably some of the best voice acting that I've really ever heard in any sort of video game. I think of games like the Uncharted series or Infamous Second Son. All of those have fantastic voice acting, and this is right up there, if not even better than those voice acting. Which Nolan North, I'm very sorry, I don't mean anything by it, but the voice acting in this game is just phenomenal and just incredible. So that's another very strong part of this game as well, as the voice acting. So what exactly do you do in Persona 5? What the hell do you do? Well, I'll tell you. So during the day, you are a school student. So you are going to high school, interacting with your peers, being in class, different things like that. And you actually get to answer questions in class too, which will build up your knowledge what's the word I'm looking for? Like knowledge category and like this skill tree type thing. So there's knowledge, proficiency, guts, kindness, and charm. I think those are the 5. If that was even 5, I don't really know. But all the activities that you do will periodically build up those skills. So you can have a rank 1, then you go to rank 2, so on and so forth. And all of that obviously helps when you are in, you know, battle and getting different items and things like that. So it's very important to pay attention to those things and to really try and spend some time to build them up. So aside from school, there's also other various activities that you do to boost those 5 categories. So you can go to school, you can go to the library, and you can study, you can read books. So reading books will obviously build your knowledge, and depending on whatever topic the book is on, it will build that corresponding category as well, so that's pretty cool. You can go to the batting cages, which is really awesome. I think that builds like your strength or something, I can't entirely remember. You can train in your bedroom at home, which is really cool. So there's all different types of things that you can do. You can get a part-time job, which is a really great way to make some money, obviously. And of course, you need money to purchase like healing items and weapons and things such as that. So it's very, very cool. So since you are a high school student, it's kind of difficult to like purchase guns. So you can use guns in battle in this game. But what's really cool is since all the battling is done in the metaverse or the meta universe, like model guns will work as real weapons, which is really cool. So you can buy like these model weapons and then use them as like real weapons in the metaverse, which is really cool. So you can buy, you know, model weapons and things like that, and you can purchase different like accessories that will boost your power and boost your max health and all these different types of things. So again, very heavy RPG gameplay here, which is really fantastic. So it's important to do all of these things within your day-to-day life to build up your strength, to purchase necessary items and do all these different types of things that, you know, you would sometimes have to do in like other RPGs to you know, gain strength and all these different types of things. So the day-to-day life is very important, but the battling all takes place within what's called palaces, which are essentially dungeons. And what palaces are is they are the how do they explain it in the game? Let me see if I can explain it to you. It's basically the physical embodiment of what a person views as totally messing this up. So let's just do it this way. So one of the main people, like the very first person that whose palace you infiltrate, and this isn't really a spoiler because it's kind of been out there, but his name is Mr. Kamoshida, and he is the gym teacher of the school that this new student goes to. And something happens, and basically the school is turned into a castle. And so, not literally, in the metaverse it turns into a castle, but the gym teacher views the school as essentially his castle, and he's the king. So that is really what palaces are. It's someone's inner desires and inner feelings of what they feel that place represents to them. So throughout, the palaces, especially the first one, there's a lot of different things going on, a lot of crazy enemies, just a lot of crazy things to look at because it is a metaverse and it's really the physical representation of what goes on in someone's mind. So there's a lot of crazy, batshit insane stuff going on, but it's really a fantastic way to see just the style that comes out of this game. And the enemies that you encounter are so crazy. Like, for instance, there's like a demon who's like sitting on a toilet and like fighting you, which is pretty cool. So it's you never have any idea what you're gonna see when you step into these palaces, but they're very cool. So each enemy has their own sort of weakness. So some may be weak to gunfire, some may be weak to electricity, others to fire, others wind, so on and so forth. So discovering each of these enemies' weaknesses is very important in taking them down efficiently and effectively, because some are, maybe resistant to fire or wind or something like that. So it's always important to try out different techniques on these enemies and see, what exactly works the best way to take them down. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but this is a turn-based RPG, so it's important to make sure you have enough healing items and healing abilities to heal your party members, and it's very important to guard yourself. So if an enemy is, charging up an attack, it's important to guard so you don't get hurt as much. So that's important as well. So it's all about, strategy, like any good RPG or turn-based RPG really is. So let's see, what else? So the enemies that you do encounter, you do get to, at a certain point of the game, you do sort of get to take them in as your own persona, which hence the name of the game, Persona. So you do start out with your own persona, and this is the physical representation of your innermost personality, if that makes sense. So each of the 4 main characters has a persona that they use within battle, but after a certain part of the game, you can actually capture other personas from the enemies that you fight, which is really cool. So you can have, I think, up to 7 personas at one time. I think just your main character right now. You might be able to do more with your other party members in the future. I don't entirely know, but nevertheless, it's still cool to have, that ability. So in order to capture these personas, you have to first weaken them, and then you actually go up to talk to them, and you can answer different questions based on the questions that they ask. And if you answer correctly, then there's a higher chance of them joining you, which is pretty cool. So again, very interesting. So you can either ask them to join you, as a persona. You can ask for money, you can ask for items, or you can just straight up obliterate them, which is kind of fun too, but you don't really get anything out of it, besides like experience points and things like that. But it's a very cool and unique battle mechanic, especially for the Persona game, the Persona series as well. I do think that some other RPGs sort of have something similar to this, but I definitely think that this is a very fleshed out way to do it, and it definitely adds a lot to the battle system, which is very cool. So I definitely like that a lot. So overall, Persona 5 is a really fantastic JRPG. It's just so much, there's just so much style going on. Even the menus have so much style. So like if you go into a shop where you like buy your weapons, there's like a chain link fence like screen, and you can see like the shopkeeper's like face like sort of merged into the chain link fence. I don't know, it just looks really cool. So there's just a lot of style to it. Stylistically, it does sort of remind me of like No More Heroes, which I might be in trouble by saying, but I just get that vibe from it. Like just the over the topness of everything, and just how much style that this game has. It's really something that sticks out to me. So I don't know, I might be really lame in saying that, but it's just sort of what I noticed. But it's just a really great RPG, and I'm so excited to have another great RPG to play. I've mentioned in other videos, I'm just in a huge RPG mode, and I'm just having a ton of fun with them. And yeah, this game is probably going to take me a while because the first palace, there actually is like a time limit. I don't know if it's the same way in like future palaces, but you have like a certain day that you have to get the palace done, and I was so close, and I would have been fine, but because of the story and what had to happen, it had to move forward a day, and so that really screwed me over. So I was really upset about that. But it was fun to go back through the palace and do all these different types of things. So definitely a fantastic game. If you are interested in RPGs or you love RPGs, I definitely recommend Persona 5. It's just a really great game and just a ton of fun. Lots of style, lots of great combat. The characters are awesome. The story is really intriguing. Yeah, there's not enough good things I can say about Persona 5. So if you were hesitant to get into the Persona series before because maybe you didn't know if you had to play the other games in the series first, I can tell you that it doesn't seem to be the case, because this is my first Persona game, and I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything that would have been in the previous games, and other people have said that you don't necessarily have to play them either, although they do recommend it because they are great games. So if I can dig out my old PS2 or something like that, I might try and play some of the early Persona games. But yeah, if you love RPGs, I cannot recommend this game enough. It's really fantastic and a ton of fun, and I'm very excited to jump back into it and see how everything plays out with the story and all that good stuff. Although it will probably take me a while because I've heard this game is very long, but that's okay. No worries there. So Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on Persona 5. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this game. If you love it as much as I do, let me know. If there's some things that you don't necessarily care for, I'd be interested to hear that too, just to see what you guys have to say. Just to get a conversation started about Persona 5, because it's a great game, and I love talking about games. So any thoughts on the games yourselves, leave a comment down below and we'll discuss it. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and take care.